my name is Amber, and this is my December wrap-up. If you saw my TBR video, I did have a set amount of books that I was trying to get to this month. There's only a couple that I wasn't able to get to. Overall, I think I did great on actually following the TBR. That was a first for me. I might try it again and see what happens, but for now, let's just get into the wrap-up. The first book that I read this month was Stitching Snow by R.C. Lewis. Now, Stitching Snow is a Cinder-esque, mechanic-filled retelling of Snow White. There's robots and space, and if you liked Cinder, you will most likely enjoy this as well. It is definitely a darker retelling of it. It's not as light as Cinder is, in my opinion. There's definitely some dark topics that I was just not expecting in this book. It is a standalone, so it was a really quick read, though I wished it was actually drug out into multiple books. I feel like everything was kind of a little bit rushed, but that's kind of understandable in a standalone. That's not really the problem though, because overall I thoroughly enjoyed this book a lot. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I loved all of these characters. And after finishing this, I cannot wait to pick up Spinning Starlight, which is R.C. Lewis's other retelling, and I'm so excited to see where that story is going to go as well. The next book I picked up was Frost by M.P. Kozlowski. Hopefully I'm saying that right. This is a story about a girl whose father, before he dies, implants his consciousness into their servant robot, and this entire world and entire book is so insane and strange. There's so many crazy creatures. It's such an interesting world to learn about, and you're just following this girl basically going on a journey trying to save her weird monster pet that she has. I loved it. I thought it was really interesting, but I was so thoroughly shocked and confused about how I felt by the end of it that I only ended up giving it 3 out of 5 stars, but I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was interesting. I can't wait to see where the next one goes and how this is going to continue, because that ending, if you've read this, you understand how insane the ending is, how crazy everything becomes. The next book I ended up picking up was Stealing Snow by Danielle Page. This is a Snow Queen retelling. We follow our main character Snow, who is in a mental institution, and we see her journey figuring out who she is and her actual background in life, and that she has powers that she never thought she would have. This book has you questioning a lot and has you wondering who you can trust, and I really did enjoy the story a lot. It had some slow moments for me and it was kind of just okay in some parts, but overall I really enjoyed it. I loved all the characters. I can't wait to see what happens in the next book, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Next, I read Heartless by Marissa Meyer. I am a huge fan of Luna Chronicles, so when I heard she had a new book coming out, of course I was ready to go get it. Once I heard it was an Alice in Wonderland kind of retelling, I definitely wanted to get it. I got my hands on it, started reading it, and fell in love with this book. This story is fantastic. The characters are amazing. This is a story that is a prequel retelling about how the Queen of Hearts came to be. And we're following Kath, our main character, who is a baker and just dreams of living her life baking and just being able to choose her own path. Unfortunately for her, she catches the king's eye and he wants to propose and make her his queen. She ends up falling for the Joker in this story, and Marissa Meyer's writing in this is so fantastic because you feel like you're in Lewis Carroll's Alice, but you're also seeing Marissa Meyer's writing as well. It's such a great mix and it flows so perfectly. You're going to this knowing that it's about the Queen of Hearts. You know it's not going to end well. You're seeing her become this evil villain that we all know. While I knew that going into this book, I did not expect to have my heart ripped out and just, oh, I felt so horrible for her, and I cried, and I couldn't take how just horrible this ending was in such a great way. It makes you feel all of these terrible things and understand the Queen of Hearts better. I love this book so much. I feel like I'm saying the ending is horrible, and it is. It's devastating to read, but it's so fantastic, and to have an author make you feel something that extreme is always something that I love. I fell in love with this so much. It definitely is a favorite of mine, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Lastly, I read Myths of Immortality by Ray Wagner. And I've said before that I am part of the launch street team for her series, Curse of the Sphinx, and I was lucky enough to get a early e-arc of Myths of Immortality. Myths of Immortality, I believe, comes out January 12th. If I'm wrong, I'll make sure to correct that. This is the 3rd book in the Curse of the Sphinx series, and we continue Hope's journey trying to break her curse. I don't want to talk much about this because of the fact that it is the 3rd book, and if you haven't read it, I don't want to spoil anything for you, especially since it's not out yet, but I am loving where the series is going. Every book I've enjoyed, and things just seem to be getting crazier and crazier every single time. I cannot wait to see what everybody thinks of this 3rd book, and I cannot wait to see the 4th book and see where things continue, but I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. Those are all the books that I read in the month of December. Let me know your favorite book that you read in December, and I'll see you guys next time.